I stay fit head to toe. I'm knocking down all of my goals. I'm a young professional. You're now watching that friendship flow. Let's go. I stay fit head to toe. I'm knocking down all of my goals. Let's go. I'm a young professional. You're now watching that friendship flow.
What's up, friends? We're back again, another episode. This is like a part 2, but we're back, man. And today we are talking about Father's Day. It's a special day. We got a lot of my good men out here. Everybody here is a father, except me. I'm like a half daddy.
Chill, father.
I'm your host, Jason Miller, and you're tuned into another episode of Friendship and Flow. And I am here with the Friendship and Flow crew for this episode again. And I'm excited to have everybody here, man. This is a special topic that a lot of people don't talk about, which is Father's Day, which is very important because if you looked on the list, they say Father's Day is like the number 17th holiday that is celebrated. And I don't know 5 other holidays worth putting in front of it. But Mother's Day is up there, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and a lot of other holidays. And July 4th is up ahead of this one. So we're putting Father's Day at the forefront of this episode for you. So let's tune in to another episode of Friendship and Flow. Let's go.
Let's get it.
So today's episode, we're talking about fathers. We're talking about how important it is as men to be involved in our children's life and what it impacted us to have a father, not have a father, and have a stepfather. So today's episode is very special, man. So I hope y'all excited for a good one. What's up, team?
Yeah.
What up? I got everybody here. Let me do a quick introduction. You know Ramad already. Boom. Dante, the fucking villain, is here. We got Mommy, the planner, Miss E. We got my brother Corey. Smalls. And we got the production. Mr. Engineer himself, Jamal, is here. Right. So we tapping in, y'all. Let's get into Father's Day real quick. I want to start this episode off by talking about a father that gets more shun than shine. And I want to talk about Deion Sanders, man.
Wow.
Because Deion Sanders is an amazing father. He has done what you would want a dad to do.
Facts.
Take the road and say, follow me through it. Yeah. And not only follow me through it, I'm going to guide you through it on the freeway.
Yep.
But he gets so much flack for doing it. It has been done by the Mannings. It's been done by the Trumps. It's been done by the Bidens. It's been done by all these other people. But when he does it, it's a problem because he's too flashy. But do y'all not remember who Deion Sanders is?
He got drafted with gold chains, Jerry curl, and a baby.
One of them.
I don't know the glasses.
And the coldest glasses.
You do got on the glasses. Shout out the prime glasses. Prime glasses. He does not corny. No.
You call him corny? He's supporting the black brand.
Glasses is ugly.
What? They look like Ray-Bans.
Yeah, they could be.
They look like Ray-Bans with the AI. He got the little circle on them.
Either way, Coach Prime, we appreciate what you have done,
we
man.
definitely appreciate you, Coach Prime.
Because he has led the way to show black fathers that not only can I do it and lead the way, and not just in football, but whatever you do. If I made the path, it's no point in you trying to fight through the weeds if I already figured it out. And this is a business to make your kids follow the path of the NFL. And even Travis Hunter adopting a kid and bringing him through. So what I want to say is he's getting so much backlash for his kids following his route and being shiny, but still doing it. They're talented. Yeah. So it doesn't sit well with me because it's like, bruh.
It's a disservice to other fathers putting in effort to pave a path for their offspring and the people they've invested in, because you got to realize it was an investment. He's done it for all of his sons. Even the sons who don't play ball. He gave his other son, a platform to do his media thing, and now he got millions of people watching the videos to show what it's really like to be a Sanders. You know what I mean? He's showing, it's giving exposure to his sons that has, well, for one son, unfortunately, it might have cost him something, but he's where he needed to be now. You know what I mean? And I feel like the people in the media demonize his tactics because of how he did it. Prime has always been Prime. He's never been fake. He's never been phony. He's always given you exactly what it is, on the field and off the field, right? Prime is Prime from the moment he stepped on that grass and gave you the work. He backed up the words that he said in the media thing the week before, talking about what he's going to do, and he did it. And he did the same thing for his sons. He went from one place to another, found a better opportunity, grew a program, grew his sons, got them where they needed to be. And just because he did it in the style that he did it, now he's a bad guy.
Exactly.
But people forget that he not only did it with God. So a lot of people miss that part about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is a very devout man. And when he did it through God, I believe personally that God laid those bricks for him and his sons to walk.
Yeah,
Right.
God made sure that his junior was not an athlete, and he can.
And he did what he's doing on the media front, because maybe they knew, God knew that there needed to be eyes to see the story of my work.
And then the other boys can shine.
Shador, his other sons.
His daughter.
She was good at what she did too.
Yeah.
They all shine.
You don't hear nothing about her no more now.
But maybe that's not her point. Maybe she's there to support, or maybe she's there in another faction. We don't know. That's not our family. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is we need to look at Deion deeper to really understand that he's done an exceptional job with his sons and his family. You might possibly, I don't believe there's been any negative stories about the family, that we've heard. None of the vitriol
outside of quote unquote ego. That's the only thing they try to pull up.
Ego is only ego when it's not backed up by action.
And
right?
He pulled
Deion Sanders has always been. He's always been that nigga.
Here's a question I got. Since everybody, y'all are all fathers. So my thought about this whole Deion Sanders thing is it something to be said about a black man taking his family and creating one generational wealth, but then also breaking generational barriers, and like he's pushing them forward so that they can create this legacy. And that's something that, like you said, when you named all those people that have done this before and hasn't gotten criticism for, they were all white.
I will say, and I try to stay away from race when I talk about things like this, but I feel like it would not have been as tumultuous if they weren't black.
Right.
When in America, unfortunately, we see such a success story. I mean, it's been a roller coaster. We've seen Deion take up coaching, be excellent, go to Jackson State, do great things there. Then he says, I'm going to do this different. I'm going to go to Colorado.
In the middle of nowhere.
Boulder, Colorado. Goes there, a place that you would have never thought that he would go. But he says, I'm going to do this my way. He had them rebuild the stadium facilities. He said, I need total control of this program. And they gave it to him, and he built an empire.
So one thing
they gonna be some shit this year. I ain't gonna lie to you.
An empire of sports excellence. And if you look at his team isn't all black.
No.
He wanted excellence in all forms, and it didn't matter what you look like. If you were trash, hit that portal.
Facts.
Because I'm telling you, you're not going to be here in about 2 weeks. And what happened? Exactly what he said was going to happen, happened. He got the talent here. He brought them there using his name and his prowess. Because once again, he deserves all of it. His accolades are his accolades. He earned all of them. And he knew what he was doing. And he did it. And people hated it. And unfortunately, I think it's because he's black.
Ma, go ahead. I know you got something on it. Get it.
No, it's a... man, the one thing I honor about Prime, I guess it's two things. One is, man, the family supports family. Like, even though Deion Jr. wasn't the athlete, nowhere near his little brothers was, you can see his love and his support behind his little brothers, as well as supporting his dad and the vision. You know what I'm saying? And just the mindset that Prime took. Like, I had a conversation with somebody earlier today about Little League sports.
Okay.
And he was talking to me about, he's like, man, my grandson, man, like, he's the best back, but he plays on a team where basically a coach has favorable treatment towards another skill guy or whatever. So his grandson don't get the opportunities, right? So when I think about how Prime set up Shiloh, he took control over their destiny. And what I mean by that is, bruh, if you leave it into the hands of somebody else to determine your kid's success, odds are they ain't gonna be, you know what I'm saying, supporting
them
them.
to be.
So, and a topic on that real quick is Deion Sanders said he was watching his sons play at Little League because that's when he started coaching them.
Yeah.
And he said he watched, and he was watching the coach just watch them crash into each other, like crash dummies, like cruise. He was like, somebody gonna get hurt out here. And he was like, I want to step in. And he said, I'm coaching from the side, I'm coaching from the bleachers. And at some point he said, you know what, man? I'm gonna just start and he has the money. I'm gonna start my own team league, and I'm gonna just take my own child's destiny. And he put all the boys under him, and he coached them from Little League, got the high school job, got the college job, and he's all the way through. So I respect that Deion has the power to do that because he knows what to do. So I'm not saying every dad should try to coach because I've coached a long time in football.
True.
Everybody don't need to be coaching.
Everybody don't need
a lot of dads, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Tell me to run a candy cane. But he know what he's talking about. So I get that. But he has proven that I can get you there. And now can I get you there? Travis Hunter, you're the number one player in the nation. When you come to me at Jackson State, Slim, I did not know what Jackson State was. I didn't know it existed. Be honest with you, I'm sorry.
That's in Mississippi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm sorry, Mississippi. I had no clue.
I would never go to Mississippi ever in life.
Mississippi's not a state that I would just be like, I'm going to college there.
Mississippi scares me.
Yeah.
As a black man, all I know is
let's talk about
that don't look like nowhere I need to be.
They're still in the 1930s.
Okay, maybe I don't know because I'm not very whatever. But what is the difference between Prime and LeBron?
You took the words off because I wanted to congratulate LeBron next. Now, there's no difference between Prime and LeBron outside of Prime.
Trash?
Wait. I don't know if
I think
trash.
there's a small difference.
Hold on. Before you jump, I would say this. The difference between Bronny and Prime is that Prime done his career and he's coaching. Bron is in the league, pulling his children up to the league, right? And the standard, Prime is not the best player ever in his space. LeBron arguably, not saying he is the best, but arguably is one of the top 3 players ever to touch a basketball.
Easily.
So, I don't know if y'all remember Michael Jordan Jr., but it didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
So, it's big. The shoes are large to live up to.
Yeah.
I think that people possibly could claim a little bit of nepotism with the LeBron situation. Because I'm not saying his son is trash. I think he's very talented.
Right, but
I do not think at this moment that he was ready for the league when he got there.
Fact. I think he's way too early.
Which is made very apparent because they put him in the G League almost instantly. You know what I mean? He needs development. I'm not saying that he won't get there, but I feel like I don't believe that if he wasn't LeBron James' son, he would have the same opportunities. Which I'm not saying is bad.
Yeah, I mean, this thing almost died on the court. He had like a heart injury.
It was a very serious.
And I also will say the second, again, just like Deion,
his other son is pretty good.
The second son is the one.
Now, his second son,
Bryce.
Bryce is a
Bryce is a dog.
Man.
He a dog.
Out there. Yeah. So it could be the second son thing. But to your point is that it's a little bit different. The shoes are bigger.
Okay.
Prime brings on a bigger personality. LeBron has bigger shoes. That nigga's number 3, number 2, number 1.
That's one side of it. I think it's simpler, to be honest, One is a case for nepotism, where LeBron just got them there, and Prime built that empire.
True.
Right.
He brought them
Because
there,
his
and
kids-
technically
yes.
they earned their own spot.
They earned their
Okay,
had to
so
get
what
drafted.
about LeVar Ball,
That's a good
who
dad.
got two
That's a
two
three.
sons in the league and
But
one
three,
that's
but he
rapping?
kind of like
And
he got
Coach
three to
LeBron.
the
He
league.
got-
And they all got there technically by themselves because
Yes.
they had to get drafted.
They
But
had to
again,
get
that was
drafted.
the
His
difference.
own
But
league
his,
too.
huh?
He started his own league too. LeVar
Yes,
Ball.
but what I'm saying is, LeVar Ball, when the ball stuff was going on, we was clowning this man.
And it also was like, who was he?
Exactly.
Like, he had
Who
a,
was,
he
yeah.
had a name.
Who is this guy?
There was
He
no
had no
claim
name.
of nepotism because what power did
They
he
started
have?
coming out with shoes
Nah,
when
that
he was
ain't
falling
even the
apart.
case,
He was a marketing genius.
He had, as a dad, I got a vision, and my boys will be
Respect.
respected.
Respect.
And right now, it took the third one, but the first one went. The second one made it better. Well, the
second one-
LaMelo
first
dope.
one went- either way.
Lonzo is like injury prone.
Either way, the
and
third one
Jello is
made it, but the third one
I
has the
heard
shoe
you
deal
good
now.
in the
The third one has the
whoa.
shoe deal. The third one is the star that's the
He's
franchise.
super nice.
He is that, and Ball said, "My kids will be respected," and we laughed,
and we respect him.
and now we respect them.
Yep.
So again, three black dads.
I respect all of them.
doing they big ones.
So I got a question now too. Then I got a lot of questions because I can't really be a part of this conversation.
Yes,
Get
you
us
can. Yes, you can.
I mean, not the sports part of it, but my question is from a dad's perspective. Okay, so from a mom's perspective, I feel like I wear a lot of hats. Like right in my house, I cook, I clean. When I was a wife, I did all the things that in my world was taking care of the family. But I feel like since it's Father's Day, what do you feel like is the unseen bits that dads do that are getting their kid, aside from like the sports aspect of it, because that's like a thing, but what are the things that dads do that gets their kids to the finish line?
I feel like there is a couple things, right? So as fathers, we have been tasked with molding clay, right? You mold clay and then you fire it in the oven, right? Firing in the oven is basically to make it permanent, right?
Right.
And that's usually I transition parallel that to when they become adults, right? Because you got to mold them first and then you fire them in the oven. So the molding part is the discipline. Moms can give discipline, right? Yes, a certain way, but fathers can give discipline in a different way. Like it is
Assertive.
not lacking of emotion, but it's very constructive in its ability to shape psyche and mold thinking, right? Fathers give a layer of protection that just sometimes isn't possible with mom.
Is that true for every? I'm thinking about my own situation, and I was the disciplinary. My kid's dad is the fun-loving, no discipline.
Yeah, I'm not saying
So your kids don't like
it's not a
No, they don't
universal
like
thing.
me, but it's just that
She
more.
just third. She
I'm
just
just
did
the-
door.
I'm the-
It's not a universal thing, but I feel like for the most part, because I can only speak from the father that I had,
Right.
and the
And
grandfather that I had, and the uncles that I had,
And who you are now.
and who I am now. These are the things that I've seen as far as like what you take care of and how you build a child. You know what I mean? Because mom is good at certain things and dads are good at certain things. I'm not saying that there's no crossover because that's ridiculous. You know what I
Right.
mean? But as a father, like to provide a layer of comfort. So you ever hear that kids are really, really bad with dad because they can let that emotional part of their brain turn off? So they act super, super silly. And I believe that's because of the protection that a father can provide.
Yeah.
It's like a force field. They enter in the force field and their brains just for that part of it, and then they act silly because they know that they can express themselves in that way. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's certain things like that dads
Yes.
give.
So I want to touch while we're on this topic because all of you technically are dads. I mean, granted, I'm not a dad at the moment, You're not a dad. But we all got dads. Shut up.
2025.
Hey, what I'm saying,
2025.
you all are dads, and we all have different relationships with our dads, whether they were there, not there, whatever. And we're talking about the space of what dads bring to the table to developing a child right now. So this is the topic we're in right now. And let's talk about what do you feel as a dad outside of a mom that you bring to your child? Because I feel like as a dad, we bring a little bit more hardness, a little more realness, a little more straightforwardness, a little more, because when mom says, hey, stop playing, da da da, it's like that happens. Hey, what I say? Everything in the room just
That's
stop
facts.
moving.
That's
Everything,
facts.
hey, I need to stop because this he might tear this room up. So we've been on both sides. So give me, from all of my dads in here, because y'all are dads, give me that side of it. Being a dad.
I think I'm a break it off because I got something that's like very relevant. Like yesterday, my daughter was promoted from like 5th grade to 6th grade, right?
I saw that, and she speaks. Congratulations! I saw that was a beautiful thing she did. She was speaking.
She spoke on like safety patrols, and I remember I was a safety patrol
Okay, captain, top flight security.
But nah, shout out to my daughter Skylar, man. She doing amazing things. But my wife will, and this may make me sound bad, but she will say how beautiful she is, how great she doing, like all of that stuff. And I would be the one that be like, damn, those 6 kids that went up there and had that 4.0, you could have had that if you ain't had that 1B for the whole semester. Because my challenge to her was like, beat my record on having straight A's in elementary school. I remember, like, that's one thing. I don't remember a lot of shit, but I remember just in school, like, I graduated 3.75 in high school, like, great grades. And then go to college because my friend passed away and we had a business idea. Shoemate, recipe shoemate. And I'm like, on the ride home, I'm like, yo, those 5 kids that was up there, you could have been up there because you had that 1B, but you wasn't up there because you had that 1B, right?
So you're saying pushing that little edge.
Pushing that little edge, like, forget your accomplishments, like, yeah, you supposed to graduate from 5th to 6th grade. Like,
I want more from you.
I want more. And one thing that I'm failing as a dad, and I'll be 100% honest, is that I don't give her enough praise. But then I feel like if I give her enough praise, is that if anyone was to come through and just say, oh, you're great at this or you're good, then she'll be like settled in that, or she'll be content with that.
You want to push the edge
like,
enough
so
to make her.
Yeah, and it was crazy is that like I watched that Dale Earnhardt documentary that I told you about, and like Dale Earnhardt Jr. was just like, man, the only thing I wanted was my dad to just like be happy about the shit that I'm doing. So I would say it's like one of the things that I'm like currently doing in today is that it's not giving my daughter enough love today of congratulating her and giving her flowers for what she's doing. And I hope I can get better at giving her that. But because of the fact I never had that from my dad, like my dad was a Rolling Stone. And he gave my sister more love, bought her a car, bought her all this other stuff, and I had to work for everything. So I automatically pushed that into her, like, nah, you gotta work for everything. You even gotta work for my appreciation and my love. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. And I feel it even when I'm like just like in the house, and even if I would just wanna be nice, I got that one thing that'd be like, nah, your room not clean. What the hell you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I never give her the full gratitude of what she deserves.
What I want to say is I want to pass over to Ramad, but I also want to say, do you have to check yourself?
No, I do gotta check myself.
Check yourself.
I think
what you're going through, and not pressuring that on her. And being better.
No, I think that is something that I'm not going through it now because I don't give a damn what nobody think. But back then, like I would have loved to have a father figure to say that you're doing well and that you're doing good, and I applaud you and I'm super proud of what you're doing. I never had that.
So
Because of the fact that I never had that, I'm feeling like that. I don't need to get after you.
That's a personal challenge.
That's a
and
personal
I think
gripe.
You should do that a lot.
No, I shouldn't.
You should love on your daughter hard because she needs to know what a man feels like to love on her hard early before she gets into the real world. Before men don't love on her as she's supposed to, and she accepts it. So therefore, you need to love on her harder. Ramon, go.
All right, so
Appreciate you, Jason.
yeah, no, that's good.
No, I mean it's real. I mean, and I applaud you for being open about that because a lot of people would not recognize that within themselves.
Oh no, I recognize everything, but I never change.
But you need to. But you know what you need to.
And I want to hop in there with that. Like, so think about this, right? So, as a single dad who has made my mistakes as far as not affirming my wife while we were married, what I realize is affirmations is one of those things that never goes away. They will always want more and more and more and more. So it's like there's no such time where you told your wife she's beautiful and she was like, oh, I'm good for the rest of my life.
Facts.
Tomorrow morning she's gonna be like, well, what I look like today?
What I look like today?
You
You trying to look like trash today. I ain't gonna lie to you, but go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And even at times, and this is where we gotta have integrity, even at times where you know, like, I don't like them nails for real, but for your feelings, I'm gonna say they look nice, right? With kids, as a single dad, what I use with Solomon is like I kind of gotta I hate to use the word, I gotta bring out a soft or a feminine side of me, but I definitely bring him that, oh nah, dog, I'm gonna build your confidence up.
I'm
going to let you know that at this stage, bruh, like, nah, nigga, you winning. You see what I'm saying? And I think just coming up the way I came up with, especially with coaches and stuff like that, the more masculine thing is, prove yourself, nigga. Yeah. Prove yourself. Ooh. That ain't enough. Prove yourself. Prove yourself. And we withhold giving them identity.
Celebration.
And celebration.
So can I put you on this? Because this is deep. Because Dante, you're touching on this, you're touching on this. It's okay to make your daughter work for what she's getting, but don't forget to celebrate her.
Yeah.
Don't forget to let her get you gotta let kids know that there's a reward at the end. So be hard, but when the reward is there, show up with a gift, show up with a prize.
She get a prize, but when I buy her whatever it is that she wants,
I'm not talking about buy.
Or get or celebrate or whatever,
but
it comes back with a backhand compliment.
But you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You should let her embrace that moment of the celebration of graduation of whatever it may be. Let it be a big bang. Okay, you won a championship, but this was the youth. Now we got to go win the middle school. Now we got to win the high school. Now we got to win the college. But don't underhand because she can't play at the league right now. She's only 9.
Yeah.
She got to play at her level.
Yeah.
So let her win it. Be like, baby, I'm glad you won it. But understand, this is only the beginning. Yeah. That's all I want to say. Go ahead.
I think that there is also a level of grace that I think parents have to owe themselves as well, because you can only do but so much more than what you saw done to you, right? Mm-hmm. You can only, like, for instance, my dad grew up with the mentality of, like, and we're girls, and he only has girls, but the mentality of man up. And even though we was not men, that's what we were told. Like, you crying, man up. And so he has put that on us, and I will get teary-eyed and whatever, but I'm very hard on the outside, soft on the inside. With my boys, I'm the same exact way. Like, my son will cry, and I'm like, shake that off, man up. Shake it off. But they are able and human. They should be able to express emotions, cry, feel their pain, and all the things. But I can only do but a little bit further than what I saw my dad do to me, because I knew how that affected me. So I have to give myself the grace to know that he was my example. Great dad turned out wonderful. So I can't, he did the best with me that he could.
Dante always gonna try to shot somebody like that.
To me, especially. But great dad did a great job. But it's progression. Everything is with progression, and you have to give yourself grace because you are, especially because the times are evolving, the world around us is evolving, times are changing. So as parents, we are evolving and we're changing, and so you got to give yourself grace.
Maul you up, I see you.
Yeah, I was just saying that you could get across that message just with a different delivery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can turn that into a cupcake if you want. Like, hey, you did excellent, next time, let's aim for the stars. Let's aim for this.
Right.
She still gets that message while still getting congratulated. And it's not, you turn the negative into something constructive.
Right.
But maybe in her brain, she's like, I did do a good.
Go ahead. You still good.
I did do a good job, but I got to do better.
Yeah.
And then that will carry her farther because then it translates into other things like schooling, sports, her career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as a young black woman, she will have to do better.
Yeah.
Right.
She has to be smarter, stronger, faster
Right.
than some of her compadres. You know what I mean? So if you do that instead of what you did do might have sowed a seed of doubt.
Yeah.
And you need to
Maybe
reassure
I'm
that.
not good enough to be up there on that stage.
And I challenge
Versus I am good enough. I just gotta dig a little deeper.
I challenge you to reassure that and hold that. And like I was saying though, but it's a lot of, as a dad, it's a lot going on. But Corey, you're very quiet, and I know you're a girl dad. So let's talk about like you being a dad in this space and what it's like giving flowers and not giving flowers and trying to make sure my baby girl Olivia is at the top of because that's my niece. Making sure she at the top of the ladder.
So first and foremost, I'm gonna commend the married dads in here, Jamal and Dante, man, for being the in-house dads. I don't live with my daughter, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a challenge presented in itself. For me, it makes me not sugarcoat anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to keep it a buck with your kid. And the more your child is, my daughter's 13, so she's like a grown person now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she got friends, like, middle school. Like, I know what it was like for me in middle school. We was wild. So, and, it's crazy during these times. They got social media, phones, and all that stuff. So, recently, she just started following me on social media. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was just like, damn, like, my daughter feel comfortable enough to follow me.
So what do you post?
You know what I'm saying? So I got to be conscious of what I post, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, we could send each other messages. So it's like, damn, it's like a little connection being built because, like, she's showing me, like, her world, and I could show her my world, too. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, like, we building something, a connection. But I just want to commend y'all too, man, just for like being in-house, man. Y'all, look, don't take what y'all have for granted, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're on the outside, in my circumstance, I feel like it's a little bit tougher because you don't see the day-to-day. You know what I'm saying? You don't see what it's like when she go to sleep every single night. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a battle. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go a lot harder, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure you have that type of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Your point is, your message is being received. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like me and my daughter, we have a great bond. As far as like praising her and like that balance and stuff like that, I'm a tough dad. She know her dad, like, she know her dad ain't like nothing to be messed with. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
I will say that moving back here to the East Coast and to everybody that I knew and that has kids and stuff, I went to Seattle. I went to Redmond, Washington in 2018, moved back 2024, something like that. But in all of the people that I met out there, everybody was with their partner, like their baby mother. Yeah. They either was girlfriend, boyfriend, or they was fiancés, or they was already married. I come back here, ain't nobody together. You got Maul. That's it. Like, I know probably like 3 other people that has kids and is actually with
their child
spouse. Their child parent. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like crazy different. But appreciate you, dog, for saying that, because
Yeah,
it is tough. And one of the biggest things that I said was like, no matter whatever happens, and whatever happens with me and my wife, like as long as she ain't like fucking around and doing no wild shit, I can withstand everything else. You know what I'm saying? And I think hers was her mindset, and babe, if it ain't, then let me know when I get home. But my mindset was like, if you ain't fucking around, like we can make this shit work, because every day I want to be able to make sure that I wake up to my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a damn what the hell you going through, I'm going through. If I can wake up to my kids every day, then that'd be dope. And it's so tough that I moved back here that unfortunately I don't see that.
It's a lower vibration.
It's a whole, like when I was out there, bro, everybody with their kids, everybody with their whole files, and you can go out and have dates and all that. I haven't had that shit in 2 years since I came. I haven't chilled with nobody else kids and their family because nobody has that here.
So how important is it as a dad to, as far as in the relationships, the marriages, to showcase that level of commitment to your children? Like, how do you?
I think it's important because it's a blueprint.
Right.
It may not be a super hardcore blueprint that you have to follow this, but it could be a roadmap to show what healthy relationships look like, so that you can compare them against something that you possibly could be in, to recognize my parents have been married for 37 years.
Yeah.
I've seen my parents fight, but they do this
Same.
to regulate or to fix it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or I've seen my parents go through dark times,
Right.
and I know that there's always light at the other end of the table, or other end of the the road or whatever. And I feel like just having an example like that speaks volumes. My parents were divorced. My parents got divorced, whatever, right? So even through that, there's life lessons. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's important for your kids to not only see healthy relationships, but to see healthy love.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, love is very multifaceted. You know what I mean? It could be making mom coffee in the morning because she works a different schedule than I do, even though I'm busy getting ready to go to the office. You know what I mean? Small things like that. Or, there's multiple examples. You know what I mean? So I feel like it is very important for, even though a marriage might not work, there still should be strong examples of love to children so that they can build that within themselves.
Yeah.
So it's important.
I will say, I pray for that kind of love. Mon, I see you itching. Get it.
Hey, nah. Cause Corey pointed out a good point, and I wanted to piggyback off Maul, even Dante, cause he gave honor to both of y'all, cause y'all still married and doing it, and as a man who was married, at least for the first 4 years of my son's life, that was a tough transition, bro.
Right. It is.
Cause to see your kid every day, and now you go through the split custody,
Right.
dog, that eats away at you. You know what I'm saying? Because especially as a guy who grew up without a dad, and he asked a good question earlier, as far as in so many words about men and, some of the sacrifices we make. It might not be true for y'all, but as a man who, you put that point out there, desires to see his kid every day, how we sacrifice our happiness
Yeah.
to give the woman and the family, because men are providers and protectors, right?
Right.
And so I think one of the things about protection is, obviously we could talk about protection from the outside world, but I think we protect our family from our own frustrations.
That's good.
And we low-key put ourselves on the altar, on the cross, for the sake of the family. But I've seen where a guy that I know, his parents waited till they graduated college.
Before they separated.
Before they separated.
Yeah, you're like holding on tight.
And
we know it's at the end.
and you talk about premeditated murder is the worst form of murder. Because you thought it out, but I think a lot of
Premeditated divorce.
exactly
Ooh.
where premeditated
For
murder
5 years.
premeditated murder is so evil because it's like you suppressed how you really felt for so long until you figured out how you can get away with it.
Ooh.
You literally thought through your anger at such a level it was like, nah, I can't do it that way. But their time is coming. But when I'm thinking about,
Premeditated divorce.
divorce, it's I can't stand this one.
And you know what? To that point, I think that when you are already have the notion that at some point you're going to leave this person, it might not be shown in your words, but your actions are showing, your facial expressions.
Yes.
So, and a child can pick up on that more than they can pick up on the words. So I think you're still ultimately doing the damage. You're staying together so they can understand the concept of, you guys splitting up. But the whole time they understand that you guys don't love each other.
And that go back to what you were saying, Jay. And so, again, for both of y'all, like it's, as fathers, right? And I'm going to take it in this direction, even with it being, 17th on the list is a holiday?
Yeah.
I think that people should honor fathers more for their sacrifice.
Ooh. We getting all tied.
Because that appreciation level
Facts.
is the secret fuel that keeps a man going. A man is going to go regardless.
Facts.
Because we were developed since childhood that our emotions don't matter anyway.
And we got to keep on.
So once we get married and we see we're dealing with somebody who kind of don't even feel us like that on that level, we already have developed the habit of suppressing how we really feel.
Just imagine a man encouraged.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like what he can accomplish. Just encourage me. You know what I'm saying? As a man, like keep me going, because I know I'm going to run through a brick wall.
Facts.
But if you believe in me and you show me that you believe in me, then I'm going to run into the world. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like real love.
That's why marriage is so powerful.
Yeah, it really is.
Honestly, men go through a lot of dark times, but sometimes that light might just be your wife reaching her hand down.
Can I touch on this? Because I say this because I watch some of my counterparts in my space, real estate, business, entrepreneurship, and I look at myself in a space where you break up and you got to reset. But I watch some of my counterparts, all my counterparts that are married or have their spouse are elevated. When they got a woman behind them that believes in them,
it's like an energizer battery.
slim. Because listen, dating is a distraction.
Facts, dog.
Dating is a whole energy that takes away from you. But when you lock in with a person and you good, I ain't gotta worry about that. All I gotta do is run.
I tell you this.
As much as men take away from our wives and our families' worries, there's some things that a wife, a homemaker, a lover can take away from a man that just you can breathe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I tell you this, when you get into the business world and the corporate world, like in which I'm in, my manager back in the day, who basically like changed my life, right? He said, "Dude, I'm not giving you this job if you don't marry the woman who done birthed your kids and that you're still with right now. You're not about to leave DC to come to Washington with no baby mother.
I need you focused.
I need you focused."
Wow. Yep.
He said one thing, when you get in conversations with these big wigs, these CVPs, these C-level suites people, and then they have these side conversations with you and talk about life, and you say that you're married, it's a whole lot different than when you say that I got 2-3 kids with 2 baby mothers. Because you don't have stability. Or you don't know how to work through bullshit, because a lot of the times that when you're with anyone, you're going through a bunch of bullshit. So if you're able to solidify what it is that you're going through and be able to withstand that, we know we can fuck with you. So that's one of the reasons of how I'm able in the tech industry be able to withstand thousands of layoffs that happen with Microsoft, Amazon, Google, all that stuff.
I agree with you because I work in the same field, bro.
Like he said, bro, you're not moving out here without your wife coming with you. And the day before I left, had surprise marriage, boom, boom. I said, nigga, well, shit, nigga, I'm a married nigga. I've been with her 5-6 years. We gonna go right to the courthouse right now. We gonna have a real marriage later. I'm a married right now. And one of the best decisions, because it wasn't like impulse that I was just doing it for that status. It was doing it because of the main fact that I want to be in my kid's life every day. And just seeing the examples that I seen from people that I grew up with that had kids that wasn't with their significant others or their baby mothers. They wasn't significant. That their baby mothers, you know what I'm saying, totally game changed. So I'm going to tell y'all, everybody this. You're making a corporate life and you got a situation, put your ego to the side. Like, as a man, you got to understand that you lost. You lost. You don't have no ego. You don't have this, that, or the fourth. You lost. Put that shit to the side. Because that shit is going to hurt you at the end. And it shit, at the end of the day, your ego is going to hurt you in whatever you do. And a lot of niggas had their ego that overweigh, and that's a horrible word. I'm not educated. Sorry.
Continue.
But just fucking put your ego to the side and then understand the bigger picture. And then you'll understand what happens after that. Because, yo, if I would have like not did what I did,
You wouldn't be where you are.
I wouldn't be where I'm at.
100%. E, I saw you itching on the tongue.
Nigga, your ass wouldn't be in this seat right now.
I wouldn't be in this seat.
No, because I feel like this is a Father's Day episode. We're talking to dads, but I think for the women who are watching the episode, what are the takeaways that you could say to a mom, but to a wife or a partner that as a
Ride
dad,
with
wait
your
a minute,
nigga.
let me get the fucking question off.
I love this episode.
What would be the thing that you would say to your significant other that you would need in order to be a successful dad and a husband?
Yeah, ride with your nigga.
You talked a lot. Let's
No,
just-
that's a good one, but go ahead. Hit me.
I mean, that's a universal one. You know, to be able to lead requires a certain level of flexibility
Silence.
from a woman. You know what I mean? So the flexibility to allow me to make executive level decisions to lead our family in the direction that I feel that we need to go.
Speak CEO.
And I feel like a lot of women, unfortunately, have come from situations where maybe they haven't had that example because maybe their upbringing didn't have, you know, both parents or their mom had to do everything. So there wasn't a leadership example.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And that could be detrimental, not from like a chauvinistic way or anything like that, because there's always will be a leader. There's in every marriage, there's a primary parent.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with that, it's only putting roadblocks to success of the marriage because we in this shit together.
Facts.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, this
Facts.
road has to be traveled. And the road is still moving. Like, we're either standing still or we moving forward. So we got to build this empire brick by brick. So here's the shovel. I got the mortar. Let's get this shit rolling.
Facts.
And you need somebody to be in the trenches with you.
Yeah.
Fact. I 100%
It's
agree
very
with
important
the
that somebody is also in the trenches with you, but willingly in the trenches with you.
And that's the key fact, bro, is that if you have someone that's not willing to be there when you down, like I was down, bro. Like my man right here, Corey, no. I was down, bro. Like down, like $10, $12 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make it happen, and then I have a daughter. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta try to make shit work. I leave my job and try to make more money, and that shit wasn't what it was. And then start back over. If you don't have that person that's with you to be like, look, I know you need to make more to support us, and you're not doing it right now, and then you just stay firm on what you believe in, and they not with you on that, that ain't the right person. God, I'm so happy. Thank you.
Amen to God, say to God.
Yeah. Amen to me, because I don't pray as much. But what I would say is this. I'm so thankful that I have the woman in my life to be able to rock with me through all the ups and downs.
Same.
Because it's not a lot of women. A lot of women right now want somebody that's already established, that's already making 150, 200K. I'm not even saying 100K, because 100K ain't shit no more.
Facts.
It's also
You
crazy.
need to
like,
get to 150, 200.
being in this area, bro, we're around the most powerful women, dog, in the fucking
Yes,
planet,
it is.
Like,
It's
and their
tough,
standards
bro.
are fucking high, bro.
So
like,
when you find that
yeah.
person that's gonna rock with you, and
That's a gem, bro.
That's a gem. So
Yeah.
that was easy decision for me to be like, let me make this shit right.
But you know what? I think the whole theory that women want or have high expectations are also from women who've also never been married. Because my expectations,
Facts.
I'm not looking for a man that's coming in with 200K.
We was 25 years old then though.
But no,
Give me that call.
I wasn't 25 when I got married. I got married when I was 30. And I got married and I was a stay-at-home wife, so I could technically get out and want to get another marriage where I could still be in the house, not doing nothing, and a man provides for me. But I am like one of those in the trenches type of girlies. Like, if you have a dream and a vision, I'm here to push you to that dream and to that vision.
You can't do that at 35 though right now.
You can.
you can.
That shit is tough.
If a
Bro,
man,
you put that battery pack, bro, in a nigga, dog.
But also, it's a
telling
difference.
you, man.
Niggas is in prime at
Yeah,
35.
it's also
Yeah.
a difference between somebody that's like working at McDonald's and somebody who is at an entry level position in the corporate world.
Facts.
So it's like I might not be able to be with somebody that's not established in his career necessarily, or not sure where he wants to be. But if you have a drive and you starting out, first of all, the Bible says that the woman is a helpmeet. So I'm supposed to be essential to getting you to where you have to go. If you have the vision, I'm the legs to help you run it. So that's important.
Yes,
But I
that's
think a
bars.
lot of the women that are out here looking for money and money grabbing, it's because they don't know what it takes to even keep a relationship afloat.
That's a great point, E.
I
Because
wasn't married,
We
wasn't
gotta
me who broke
reset.
it up, so.
that's a great point. Because it's good.
Hold on. Before you go, Mom, what was you saying?
Yeah, man. So, man, just definitely honoring again, like the dads who are still married, right? But Corey hit on something, man, about the single dads that I kind of want to revisit because it is a challenge, not just the split custody thing, but a man who is looking for that stepmom. Like it's like when they bring up the qualities that they see in their wives, which is the, battery pack for them to keep them going. I think the challenge for single dads is like, you might want me to be your husband, but I'm a package deal. Do you love my son too?
Right.
And that is a non-negotiable.
Right.
Now, I'm only saying that because my son
parenting.
is 9, right? So if you're going to be the stepmom at 9, my son is going to need more. Now, if he's 16, 17, it's like, man, he almost out the door, you know what I'm saying? But it's interesting because I had I ain't had a conversation. I ran into a conversation of some people arguing kind of about how specifically stepdads don't know their role. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that was kind of wild. So You know, basically the argument, the guy was like, nah, bruh, I'm putting groceries in the house for my kids, and this nigga eating up all the food in the house. So the one guy was like, nah, dog, I think you been too hard. Like, bruh, if you providing groceries in the house,
For everybody.
them groceries is for everybody in the house. He was like, nah, it's for my kids. And so he was like, nah, the stepdad don't know the roles. So long story short, the guy gave him a spin on the perspective. He was like, listen, bruh, I understand you the real dad and all. He was like, bruh, like stepdads matter too. And earlier y'all brought up ego, right? And I felt them though, because I kind of was like, I haven't had that moment yet. You know what I'm saying? To my knowledge, like I don't think my ex is in the transition of actually getting remarried yet, but I thought about him. He was like, nah, dog, my real dad, he ain't worth nothing. Yeah. He said, my stepdad taught me everything that I know. He said, to this day, and that was 2 weeks ago. He was like, no, that's my real dad. He said, my real dad? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My stepdad is my real dad. The other nigga, like, man, you just was a sperm donor type thing.
Facts.
So they was going back and forth, and he was like, man, bro, let me ask you a question. He was like, all right, cool. He in the house, quote unquote, eating up all the groceries. He said, what other things do we do? So then that kind of humbled him. He was like, I ain't gonna fake, you know, he picked the kids up from practice, school, yada, yada, yada. And the thing that I'm getting at is he was like,
those are his groceries.
I'm dipping my bag.
As I guess on the stepdad topic, it's, man, he had to swallow his pride and realize if it's really about the kids,
Right.
you gotta change your whole perspective on that. Now he might be knocking down your ex and all that, you know what I'm saying? And that's a reality. Somebody gonna be knocking down my ex. It probably already is. But it's just like, you know, community wise, we gotta get to the point where like, dog, stepdads is real dads too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that was a thought that I had.
Niggas die off their ego, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Niggas real life get killed because they have an ego.
Crashing out.
And once you understand that you
did, but
leave that ego and let it go, that's when you'll be prosperous, bro. I don't believe in anything else but not having an ego.
Mm-hmm. So let's stay on the topic of stepdads because I played the role of a stepfather for a substantial part of a person's life, and I was a stepchild. Me and Corey are stepbrothers. I want y'all to know this. We don't look alike.
we don't look nothing
Shout
like
out to y'all.
But his dad became my stepdad and played a pivotal role in my life that taught me a lot of good things. Some things I will take with me and run, some things I won't. But his dad stepped up. To this day, calls me and says, son, I am appreciative of you being my son. Because I met him at 7, 8, well, I don't know.
7, 8, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So he played a pivotal role in my life. And then to be in the role in somebody else's life as a stepdad is pivotal. And it's different because you understand that I'm not your dad. But I'm stepping up in this space and trying to balance respect of you, respect of me, and respect that I'm not who you see me as, but I'm doing my best to fill the shoes.
Yeah, I feel like it's
And
the
man.
bar is a little bit higher almost.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
a stepfather. You know,
Okay.
I have a bonus kid. She's my kid. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. But it's like I feel like your bar is actually higher because you have to dismantle any of the negative things that maybe are being spoken about you,
Right. That's
or
that part.
or you know have been said or done or whatever about you, and you have to. This is where you put on your Superman cape
And the kid's perspective.
and be like, fuck all that.
Right.
I'm here to give you the best life possible,
Right.
Right.
and your only reward is the flex of seeing the clay that you molded fired into a beautiful vase
Yes.
or
Right.
whatever. And I low key, I'm speaking on this because I've done it.
Yeah.
I have a child that I met at 10. She's now high achieving merit scholar at college now.
Nice.
Wow.
Taught her how to, drive, dance recitals, college tours, cry over boys.
Right.
You were there.
All
That's
wisdom
me.
in between
That's
those
me.
moments.
You know what I mean?
That's
Facts.
powerful.
Imparting into, education is really important to even now. She's in college. She doesn't tell me what her grades are. She's 19. She's like, hey, I bust out that A.
Right.
My nigga.
Yeah.
And
Right.
the flex is to be able to be like, that's my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know it's my shit because I did it.
I think.
And then to walk in a world where I am respected for it only after all of the work.
It's
But
done.
you get no accolades
Right.
while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You get it once it's done.
Done.
You know what I mean? I know when I get old, I have 2 daughters that's going to take care of me.
Facts.
Even though she has a father,
Right.
I'm not negating him at all because he did whatever his part was or whatever. But I know that I can flex on what I've done.
Right. You can hang your hat on that.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say too. I think I'm a stepmom as well, and I think sometimes we get. Well, I don't know if it's a woman thing or whatever, but I think sometimes you get caught up in what the role of a parent or like the biological parent role is when you have a stepchild. And the reality is you have to kind of meet your kid where they are and based off of what their needs are. So I think in a step person situation, every stepchild needs something different. Technically, I was a bonus mom. His mom was there full time. Dad is there full time. I was an addition. So what do you need from me that I can benefit and give to you without overstepping and knowing my place, but then at the same time making, for lack of a better term, like pouring into you something that maybe these two aren't. And so how can I fill a gap that you need and not necessarily related to them as parents, even if that is the role, and I just want to say this for anybody who's listening, who is literally a bonus parent. Like, it's not always necessary that you be a mom to a child or a dad to a child. Sometimes it's important to just be a friend. And it's kind of giving, I used to think of my role as a stepmom as like, I'm always going to be the mom because, I got other kids and you got brothers and they're all related. But at the same time, for you, I want to be a safe space, and maybe not even just a safe space where we can be chalk it up and laugh and hee and giggle. But then there's the place of like, okay, maybe both of your parents are, in my situation, very lenient. Maybe both of your parents don't see the things that I see. Maybe they don't get to spend, in my situation, enough time with you to see. Because it was my time with him that I was able to say, oh, I think that he's autistic. He's on the spectrum. I think that we need to switch him out of his school. So it's like tuning into what is the purpose of your role in that person's life. It might not be to discipline. It might not be to educate. It might just be able to see that child and see what the other parents, because parents we miss it. Yeah. And what are they missing that you can see for that child?
Ma, go ahead. I see you.
Nah, I'm about to say, you hit on something so strong because it was crazy. I remember in my mentorship program, I told I didn't tell the lady I was going to mentor her child, but a teacher was like, oh, he does mentorship, reach out to him. So she low-key volunteered me, right? I'm not knocking that because I do have a heart for it. But the first thing the lady said was, please, don't get involved in my kid's life if you're not going to commit.
Ooh.
And so here's where I'm going with the whole step parent situation. Now I know E was married. Here's my thing. I'm not against, like whenever I get married, whoever she is, I'm not against a woman having a kid. My only anxiety is if I am just coming from a person who was divorced, if I invest and I get involved in your kid's life and it don't work out, I'm concerned about your kid now.
Yes,
hold
that's
up.
real.
Can I touch?
That's
So I think this is
Yeah,
where
I
I
feel
come
like
in.
you have a well.
This is where I come in.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on dating women with children. Me being a male that does not have children at 38, my last relationship was dating a woman that had children. And I was all in.
He ain't got no kids.
I was invested 100%.
Yeah.
And I am 100% committed to whatever I sign up for. All my friends know, once this nigga commit, that nigga
That's
is.
what you do, bro. Yeah.
But I want to say that the connection that I shared with my ex's son was one that I truly say that I don't want to put myself through again. Because I'm all in. And that child is my child now.
Yeah.
No matter what, he can call me from wherever he is, whatever he has going on, and I'm going to stop what I'm doing. So even if I can figure it out mentally, I might not be able to figure it out financially, but mentally, I'm going to be there for you, dog, because I am you. Me and him are stepbrothers. His dad took time out of his life to make sure that I was straight.
That's powerful.
So I've been in the seat of a stepchild, and to be a stepdad meant so much to me that, hey, little bruh, I'm not your dad, but I will be a friend. And however I could guide and mentor you, I'm going to be there. So I'm very transparent. I say this on the record. I do not date women with children, not because you have a child, not because it's a blemish, but because the relationship that me and that child may have, I don't ever want to put myself through the situation of the separation that may come with that. Because when I connect, I'm all in.
I'm in.
I'm connected. I'm in there.
Yeah.
And I want to be there. And I have that already. And anybody that knows me, knows moving forward that you got to date me, whatever, I'm going to have a connection with this kid for the rest of my life.
Right.
No matter where he's at. But at the same time, I don't want to put myself through that. And I don't want to put that child through that because that's tough. Because if it doesn't work out, you and me as men and women is one thing, but me and that child's looking like, what did I do to deserve a lower grade version of you? What did I do to not have a connection with you? But the next woman that comes in gonna be like, so you still taking care of this woman's child? You not together, whoop-de-whoop. But that's a bond that I can't break. So I say all of that to say that if you're going to sign up, men, women, people, if you're going to sign up, understand what it means to dive into a person's life, even though they are young. Yep. You're taking it as they young, they're not going to remember, they cool, they be all right.
Man,
no,
bullshit.
I've been in that seat from 6, 7 years old to the point where Corey's dad is still a pivotal part of my life. Right? He calls me like, how you doing, son? And I feel like he comes from a place of, I just want you to know, I ain't gave up on you.
Yeah.
Powerful. Wow.
Yeah.
And I can see the same thing where it's like, I respect that, bruh. And I need to not give up on the person that I commit to. So therefore, it's tough. I don't ever want to put myself or another child through that situation where I'm good where I'm at. I got one.
Yeah.
I got one bonus kid. I'm good. And the rest of them will be biological. But that's a tough space to be in as a grown-ass man, and people don't talk about.
That's real.
They talk about the child side. They don't talk about what it's like as a grown-ass man to be separated from your bonus child. Because you're in a situation where you're separated from your bonus child.
And I feel like it was hard. Like I literally spent. It's a weird place in my personal situation to be separated when you feel like the child is not being fully seen the way that they should be, and you were the only one that saw. So if you're not there, you can no longer see, and now you don't have the control or the ability to maneuver this child in a safe space. So to relinquish that control is a lot, because now you have 2 full parents that are 50-50 with you. I don't get a piece of that pie.
Yeah, it's no zero. You get zero.
Zero pie. So, and not for nothing, my stepson is in high school, so he technically, there is also that level of like, you was my stepmom, I don't really care, you're not with my dad, it was all of this stuff. Not that we don't have a good relationship.
Different level of understanding what they are in life.
Not that we don't have a good relationship, it's just a different level of relationship. So I'm forcing myself to still be present so that he knows that if he needs something, that I'm still there. There's not holidays. It's okay. There's not holidays that go by that we don't spend as a family or do all of that. We're still very much attached. But you're right. There is something to be said for the person that could be watching this episode that feels like you had to disassociate with that bonus child, but it's not your fault. It's just relationship. Yeah. And I think it's also to be noted that if you did what you were supposed to do, even in your case, if you've made an impact, that impact will last for the end of time, because psychologically, anything that you've done in a child's life between their early stages of their life, they will remember that forever. It's seeped into who they will become. And then from a spiritual standpoint, if I know for myself, I just continue to pray for my stepson and continue to cover him, my whole family. We all do. Because at the end of the day, the seeds you plant will continue to grow if you continue to water them. So yeah, that's a really tough space. And this is also, we had that conversation when you were going through your breakup, and I was like, it's hard, but it's easier to disassociate now than waiting. It's a tricky place.
It's tough.
So like you dirty ass niggas who
wow.
Get him, Dante.
Who don't clean up after yourself and think it's just you. Nah, nigga, that was a family thing.
I want you to expand on it in the sense that we're talking about quote unquote dirty ass niggas, but you gotta really expand. I gotta expand
because just like off GP, just cleanliness.
General principle, if y'all don't know what that means.
Yeah.
GP means general principle.
There you go, my man. Yeah. Cause I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, what she's saying here is that the lessons that you learned, the bare minimum that you can get from somebody is how to clean up after yourself. And I'm going to transition this out of dirty ass niggas and everybody dirty ass laundry. And how you portray that onto others because you wasn't sanitized enough
to take care of what you made.
To take care of what you made onto the next person.
Ooh.
I knew it was gonna come across.
Why every time you say something? Every time he say shit,
you gotta see where he going.
It goes fucking. And then
but
it's
that's
like,
his delivery, bro.
I love it.
It's nasty, bro. It's a nasty delivery, bro.
Yeah.
It's nasty as shit. But you get that shit when he finished. Yeah.
But no, I respect that because Dante, I will say, you are a carousel ass nigga.
Yeah.
You gonna bring that whole...
I'm gonna have you motherfucking going up and down on that motherfucking zebra. But what I'm gonna say is, you meet a lot of those.
Yes. And it's unfortunate because these seem like good people and then you get to talking to me like, nah, you a bum ass nigga.
Yeah. Take care of your children.
You a bum ass nigga.
Let me pivot off of that a little bit. Dante, I think that maybe, because you were saying earlier that you don't know many people that are married and with their partners or whatever like that. I think that circle is just going to expand for you because eventually you will surround yourself with people like that. So you say, me and you, we be connected, right? Maybe we're going to hang out soon and you're going to meet some of my friends.
Yeah.
I cannot. All right.
What an episode, bro.
Yeah, we're going to wrap this up. All right. Basically what I was saying was your circle will grow when you surround yourself with people that you want to model yourself after, basically. So more, not saying just married people, but like people that have a trait or aspect about themselves that you might want to learn or incorporate into your life, et cetera, et cetera. So I think over time that will happen. You just need to stop hanging out with ain't shit niggas.
Yeah.
Amen.
When you stop hanging out with ain't shit niggas and you start hanging around people that are doing better than you or have something that you want to learn from them, your circle will grow, and then you become the sum of your 5 friends.
Right.
You just
That's
need to
good.
get out of that ain't shit ass circle. If you can't learn from anything from the people you surround yourself with, you're in the wrong circle. You just gotta boss up, move up, level up.
Yep.
That's it.
Hey, we cooking.
Amen.
I want to say one thing for sure. Friendship and Flow, we be cooking. And I love the direction that we're going as a podcast
Yeah.
in the space of hard topics. Because, I mean, there's other podcasts talking about hard topics, but we really we jumping on these motherfuckers like Mario, like, bitch, mushroom. And we jumping on the hard topics. And I appreciate it because we're all over in the hard topics, and people right now are learning who we are. But y'all gonna learn that, like, this is a space where you can come in and you can expect to talk about the hard topics, the real, and you get every version of it.
Yeah.
You get such deep dialogue. You get the real, like,
raw, uncut.
Raw, uncut. You get the women version. You get my comedic view. You get the, hey, bruh, this is my perspective, and you get this dialect of intellectual dialect of, hey, bro, this is my how I'm delivering it, and I love that for us.
Yeah.
Because it's needed. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a ton of podcasts out there. Everybody's faking, but I don't see what we need in these conversations because, again, step parenting is a real thing. It is so common that we just overlook it like it's just supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't no easy job to step parent, dog. Because you got kids that resent you for being a step parent. You got kids that don't accept you.
Yeah. But
And
real
it's tough.
talk, one thing before we go.
We ain't going nowhere. Go ahead.
No, we
Okay.
going.
Shout out to the real godparents. Because, you know, you got godparents that has been dignified that space. Well, not even dignified, that's probably not the word. But that has been
Selected.
selected and they've been honored with that space to be the godparent of your kids. And if you selected folks to just be godparents of your kids who you just cool with, like people just make godparents because like you cool with them for a long time.
Seen that.
And they haven't shown them qualities of being a
that's not how
godparent.
it's represented.
It's not how it's represented, bro. And I feel like the godparents that really show up and that can really support the actual parents, man, are extremely undervalued. Shout out to my godparents, but I know a lot of them out there that people think that they have a shoulder to lean on for like times where like actual people want to go out and have a good time and be like, yo, can you watch my kid? And niggas haven't like never did that ever in life and never will even think about doing it in life. They just like, I don't know where I got to with that, but it's deep in my heart with like godparents. Like people have kids out here, bro, and then to my point earlier, it's like nobody is with their significant, nobody with their baby mother or daddy nowadays in this area. I would say that. But then they have godparents and they're not there either. So who are you? And then grandparents aren't grandparents like how they used to. Like grandparents don't even want to watch your kids. Like I tell you this.
So
I'ma speak all straight personal shit, and everything that I'm saying is personal. Grandparents ain't hiding.
Wrap this
Shit up, babe.
All this gonna be cut.
Yep.
Yeah.
You my god, dog, and nigga, you ain't come out for shit.
this is it. Audio version. This is it.
Oh, the audio version
Hold
for
on,
sure.
Mark, hurry up, cause Corey, I see you over here. Mark, give me in.
Yeah,
Hurry
cut
up.
that.
No, this is it.
The
This
audio
is
version
great
is
shit.
it. but
Damn.
the audio version,
I had a loss of thought, but one thing I will say, Jay, you said this
I don't know if I'm
earlier.
gonna make it outside.
And I don't know if you intended to worded it like this, but when you said step parents, you worded it like step parents is the parents who stepped up.
Yes.
And I never thought of it like that, but that's my one takeaway that I'm picking up from it.
Yeah.
So again, like we talked about, I don't know if I'm gonna get with a lady who gonna have one already, but my mindset is I gotta step up. And even if I step up and apply pressure to the real dad, that's only gonna make the culture better. But,
Exactly. I love that, man.
Yeah.
Corey, what you had?
All right, man. What I got, man, from this, man, look, regardless of your circumstance, love your kids, man.
Amen.
Facts.
Whether you with them, like, on a night, daily basis, whether you a parent from them from afar, man. Love your children. Continue to encourage them to be great, better than what you are, man. Like, and just continue to, like, build on that relationship. Like,
Love
that. Yeah.
Mo,
That's
you
what I got
up?
for
You
y'all.
up? You close?
Parenting is hard. Give yourself some grace. That's it.
Amen.
That's all I got.
Me,
Easy.
I would say Happy Father's Day to all of you.
Hey.
As a mom who's an excellent mother, give myself my own pat on my back. But I think you all are excellent dads as well.
Thank you.
And it's not. I think in our culture, people say it's very rare.
You need the mic.
Oh shoot! I forgot about the mic. Why is it so
Yeah, nobody hit
Because that
nothing.
mic was right there.
And that's a fake mic.
No, but anyway, what I was saying was, y'all are great dads, and I think as a mom who puts a lot into my kids, I can see that y'all are great dads. And I think in our culture, we put a lot of emphasis on the dads that are absent, and we don't put enough on the dads that are present. And I think there are actually more dads in these days in our culture that are actually present, are taking the time to be there for our kids, and Happy Father's Day to our black men.
Happy Father's Day, niggas.
I love that. To close us out, I want to say shout out to the biological dads because I love my dad for what he did do. But I want to shout out the stepdads. The stepdads, you make an impact. Don't ever think that you're undermined. You're ever not enough. And even though when it's tough because the kid is making an adjustment to you, you got to understand that you are strong enough.
Yes.
You are more than enough. You're man enough to be there for that child through there because you stepped up and decided that I'm going to be a part of this child's life regardless of the circumstances. And overall, every man, whether you're a dad, a coach, a stepdad, a mentor, a teacher, whatever you are a pivotal point in that young man or young woman's life, and you matter. So with that said, Happy Father's Day to all you big boss fathers out there that's doing your thing. Kids, no kids, whatever you got. We love y'all, man. And hey, friendship and flow. Let's go. Hey.